Be Me and Threshold Training Network. Welcome back everybody. Today is the 30th of April and today we are going to do another no-bake, easy to make cake. And from some comments and feedback that people have been giving me and suggestions, I decided that I would run with an Oreo cake. Okay, so it's very similar to a cheesecake, but I'm just going to call it an Oreo cake because sometimes if you don't like cheesecake, that name alone is going to turn you off an Oreo cheesecake, and it shouldn't, because it's absolutely delicious. When you taste this, you're going to want to eat the whole thing for yourself, which is not a good idea, okay? Especially in these times when we can't do as much exercise as we possibly like to do. I would recommend small slices and to absolutely share it with your family and those that are around you. So first things first, let's wash our hands. I'll just dry them off, and just for good measure I've used some antibacterial gel as well, just to make sure my hands are nice and clean. Okay, so let's get started. So just like the banoffee pie and the lemon cheesecake, we had to make a base, and we'll be doing the same again, and we're coming back to the same size tin as we used before with our lemon cheesecake. This is the 9-inch tin or 10-inch tin, I'm not too sure, but it's 9 or 10 inches. And for our base, instead of digestive biscuits, we are going to be going with some Oreos, okay? And I bought a twin pack of Oreos in Dunn stores. I think they were selling them probably for around $2 something. Sometimes you can get them on special offer for a little bit cheaper. They might sell these for about €1 a pack the odd time, so you might get it for a little bit less than what I did. But these are about $2.50-ish for 2 packs. Okay, so we're going to nearly use a whole packet for the base. For the base, I think they recommend you use around kind of 10 biscuits, so between 10 and 12 biscuits. Oreo biscuits we're going to use for that. So get your bag, your zipper bag, and count 10 or 12 biscuits in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm going to go with 13 biscuits. Okay, so 13 biscuits in there. And then what we're going to use the other packet for is the actual topping. There's going to be Oreos in that, and we're going to sprinkle some crumbled up Oreos on top of our topping when it's ready. So what I normally do is, I don't think I mentioned this before, is get a tea towel and put that on your counter when you're bashing up your biscuits. Will save your counter, and it's less noisy as well. Buddy's sitting on a chair here beside me, just kind of watching me. I don't know if you can see him there. Okay, so when I start bashing these biscuits, he's probably going to like it. Okay, so now you have your biscuits bashed up, okay? So they're nice and fine. There shouldn't be big lumps of biscuits in there. And I left the cream of the Oreos inside the biscuits, which you can actually remove that if you like with a knife when you're making your base, but it makes the base kind of nicer, I think. It makes it tasty. So my recommendation is leave the cream in. Okay, so once we have that done, what we need to do is melt some butter. So let's get a cup. And again, we're going to use about 50 to 60 grams of butter. For our, I suppose maybe we might get away with a little bit less than our lemon cheesecake, which is probably around kind of 50, because there's cream in there as well, so that's going to kind of help the base kind of stick together. So So just chop this up and we'll stick it into a cook then, and we're going to microwave that for about 40 seconds. Okay, so while we're waiting for our butter to melt, I said today I'm going to give some interesting facts instead of a riddle or a tongue twister. And I wondered how people got on actually last week from the banoffee making video with the tongue twisters. I didn't really hear much in the comments. So if you did give it a go, please feel free to comment on this video as well. I'd love to see if people managed to do the full tongue twister from start to finish. So interesting facts. So when I googled interesting facts, one of the ones that stood out to me was about a pterodactyl, because I love dinosaurs. One of my favourite dinosaurs is a brontosaurus. Another one is a pterodactyl. So if you're not too sure what a pterodactyl is, that's the winged bird. You'll see it in Jurassic Park flying along. Like I often think of, like, there's some cranes in the local park which are these kind of large grey birds, and often when they fly down low, I imagine them like as pterodactyls. But an interesting fact about the pterodactyl is that the pterodactyl's wingspan is longer than an F-16 fighter jet, and they stand as tall as a giraffe. So you can only imagine what that might look like flying in the sky. Like, it must have been amazing to see. So there you go. A pterodactyl stands taller than a giraffe and has a wingspan larger than an F-16 fighter jet. Wow, that's amazing to me. Okay, our butter's ready. Just give that a stir, just to make sure. Sometimes the butter doesn't be fully melted, and I'm just stirring it so that when I do pour it in to the base, that it's not going to have clumps of butter in there. Okay, and pour in biscuit base. And again, if you see any larger lumps, you can just squish them with your fingers. Your fingers are clean, so it's okay. It's nice to be able to, when you're making food, that you've clean hands and you're able to touch the food, and you know, it helps in just being able to make it, and you know, make sure that you have things the way they should be. Okay, so I'm happy with that, and I'm going to add in my butter. Now, what I have done before is I have added 1 or 2 digestive biscuits in there. If you're kind of worried you don't have enough Oreos because they are expensive, you can use a few digestive biscuits, and what happens is they just blend in with the black base, and you don't even know that they're in there. It will lighten the base kind of a little bit. Now I'm just kind of looking at my base, and it looks like I probably need more biscuits in there. For some reason, the Oreos tend to. Thought I had more left over from that packet, but I only have 1. So actually, what I will do is I'll add some digestive biscuits in. So I get my digestive biscuits. I'm going to take 3 digestive biscuits, and I have 1 more Oreo left in there.
I'm going to bash them up.
And I'm going to mix that up. And I'll show you then that you can see that you can't really notice the digestive biscuits. They're just like a speckle reading in there. I think because I'm conscious that I'm recording this, I'm probably not spending as much time on things as I normally would, so I'm just noticing some kind of bigger pieces in there. because I didn't spend enough time bashing that base. It's all about the base, as Megan Trainor would say. Nearly could have even gotten away with probably adding another 2 more digestive biscuits to that, so it would have been 5 digestive biscuits and a whole pack of Oreos for a 9-inch tin. We kind of learn as you go along, but I know this is going to be okay. It's going to be delicious. Alright. Okay, so I'm happy with that now. That's lined in the tin. Okay, and I'm going to add that, put that into the fridge. So again, just putting it into the fridge just helps the base set, it helps the butter just kind of harden again, and so it solidifies that base, so that when you put your topping on, it's that's going to be set, and it's not going to start, the topping isn't going to start leaking into your base and then just become one big mushy mess. Okay, so we have our base done, and we're going to move on now to our topping, which is very similar to the lemon cheesecake. We have our cream cheese. So today I have Philadelphia because they had none of the cheap cream cheese left. This actually cost me about €2.50, unfortunately, because normally you can get the Dunn's version or the Tesco's version for a lot cheaper, or Aldi or Lidl, it's a lot cheaper. But I was shopping in Dunn's, and you were queuing for the shops. I would have had to queue maybe for another 15 minutes or so if I decided to go to another store. So I just sucked it up and went with the Philadelphia. Okay, so with the Philadelphia, what we're going to be doing is we're going to empty this into a bowl. Empty this into a bowl. It is some good cream cheese, I have to say. I do like Philadelphia. Alright, and then we are going to add in icing sugar. Okay, so I got this icing sugar in Super Value, and Super Value have icing sugar for really cheap. I think this cost less than €1, okay, for a bag of icing sugar. So I've never used it before, but I think it's probably much the same as any other icing sugar brand that you'll get. So I'm going to add in 3 dessert spoons of icing sugar. And what the icing sugar is going to do is that's going to act similarly to the jelly. It's going to help set the top of the base, because we're not going to be putting jelly into this one. And if you don't put icing sugar into it, it's just going to just run over the base. Okay, so we have that in there, and I'm just going to mix that a little bit with the spoon before and now I'm going to add in some vanilla essence. The vanilla essence really makes it tasty. Okay, it just adds a yumminess to it. So I'm going to add a capful of vanilla essence in the mixture. Okay, now that's mixed. What the next thing I need to do now is to whisk my cream. So I got this in Dunn's, and this is 500 mils of fresh cream. I was considering getting double cream. The reason being as well, again, to kind of help the topping, because there's no jelly in it, just to help the topping be a little bit more stiffer and to hold on top. But I was conscious of that I was still going to put icing sugar in there, that there's going to be Oreos in there, and I kind of wanted to make it a little bit more healthier. Not that this is healthy at all, but made me feel a little bit better. Okay, so I'm going to add all that in there. And now let's whisk. I'm exhausted. Okay. Woo. So now we have our cream. Okay, and we're going to add now our cream cheese mixture into our cream. I'm just going to do a little taste test just to see. I'm going to add a little small bit more vanilla essence in here. Okay. Around. And this topping is just so light and fresh and dreamy and creamy and woo. I'm just going to give it a quick so again, we don't want to whisk that cream too much, because otherwise you'll lose that lightness and that kind of that lightness and kind of freshness. It turns more into like a buttery kind of heaviness. So we don't want that at all. We want it to be nice and light. Okay, so next thing is to add in is our Oreos. So let's see. I probably want to keep about half the packet for the topping and put half the packet into the topping. 6. We'll keep 6 for the top, and we'll put the rest into the. So you don't want to bash them up too much. You just want it to be kind of broken into pieces. Okay. So I'm just kind of show you what you want there. Alright, so you kind of want it to be like so. Alright, we're going to add all that in. I'm just going to show you, buddy. He's standing right beside me, watching, waiting for something to drop. I think his nostrils are on fire. Okay, so we will just do another taste test, because we want to make sure that this is just right, because if it's not right, you know, we just need to make sure. Okay, so now I'm ready now to put this topping onto my base. So we can take our base out of the fridge. just show you the topping just with that, with those Oreos. So you can't really kind of see the Oreos in the topping there. It's all mixed in with the lovely cream and cheese, and you can really taste that vanilla taste. It's not too strong, but it's definitely there, and that's what you want, or at least that's what I like, to be able to taste that. And then I'm just going to add that topping now on top of my base. Okay, and again, if you have kids at home, or big kids like me, they are going to love cleaning this bowl for you. They're going to get it so clean, so clean, without using any water to wash it quickly. Okay. He's after getting something out that fell on the floor there. He's delighted. I don't know if you can hear him licking away there. Let's say he thinks all his Christmas is after coming at once. Now, so I'm just going to smooth that out into my tin. So because we use 500 mils of cream, we have a really high kind of a topping, so you can use 250 mils as well, and you would just end up with a kind of a shorter topping. So our cake might be about this high rather than this high, so it just depends on what you want. Okay. I positioned the camera in the wrong place this week. Last week I didn't have it pointing over to the sink, and I was able to clean out the dishes as I went. So okay, so now we have our topping in our base like so, and we have our Oreos, which now I'm just going to break up roughly, probably like into quarters, and I'm going to add onto the top of my cake just randomly. And I'd probably recommend doing this part probably when you're ready to serve the cheesecake, not straight away, but I just want to give you guys an idea of what the cake looks like when you're about to serve it, and I think it looks quite impressive. So there you go. So there's your cake. Alright, I'm going to put this back now into the fridge and probably leave it for a couple of hours, 5 minutes, and we'll just let it set. Okay. So there you go. So that's an Oreo cake, or an Oreo cheesecake. We just don't tell them if they don't like cheesecake, call it an Oreo cake. That's the best way to get around it. So I hope you enjoy making that. And again, I'd love to see your pictures of your Oreo cheesecake or your Oreo cake, and send them to us to our WhatsApp or to our email address, or put them up on our Facebook or Instagram, or message us on Instagram. Yeah, I look forward to seeing all of your bakes, even if it's not an Oreo cake. Send it on, let us know what you made, and we'll share it also as well on our social media. So thanks very much everybody, and I'll see you here again next Thursday.